All right, welcome to section 6-7. All right, these are application problems, aka word problems. Okay, so when they give you problems, please draw pictures. Pictures will help tremendously. So, for example, here's an example of the first one. The area of a square is 121 square units. Find the length of its side. So, I have a square. And I know this area is equal to 121 units squared. All right, but I don't know its side. The special thing about a square is the base, the height are the same. So to find the area of a square, it's the base squared equals the area, which is our, oops. I wanted to write that a different way. So area is equal to the base squared. All right, but we know area is 121. We don't know what the base is, so we're going to do that. But remember back to our solving days. Remember in the back into the section of solving, we always have to have it equal to 0. So let's subtract 121. So therefore, I will have 0 is equal to x squared minus 121. Does it matter that the 0 is on the left-hand side or the right-hand side? No. Okay. This here is that special unit. So what times what makes x squared? Well, that's a is equal to x, and b is equal to what times what equals 121. And that's 11. So you can have x plus 11 and x minus 11. And that 0 is equal to. Okay, and note that I have that subtraction sign. So then I can come up here and solve for x. So x, oops, 0, not x, 0 is equal to x plus 11, and 0 is equal to x minus 11. Minus 11, minus 11. So negative 11 is equal to x plus 11 plus 11. So 11 is equal to x. So, but here's the thing. This is a real life application problem. Can you have a negative length? No, you cannot. So this answer you cannot use. So your only answer is x is equal to 11. Okay. Some of these problems, though, just because you come up with a negative, when you plug it in, they come up with a positive solution. So your negative, you have to go back and plug them in. So don't just automatically throw out the answer because it's negative. It may actually work in your equations. Okay, so just check with them. All right, so here's another problem. The length of a rectangle is 7 centimeters. So let's draw me my rectangle. Okay, so the length is 7 centimeters less than 4 times the width. Do I know my width? I do not, so I'm going to denote it as my x. Okay, so it says it is 7 centimeters less than 4 times the width. Well, how big is the width? It's x. That's 4 times the width minus 7. Okay, the area of this rectangle is 36. All right, so how do I find the area of a rectangle? Well, area is equal to length times height. So the area, oops, we know is 36 is equal to my length, which is 4x minus 7 times x. So I need to distribute. So that gives me 4x squared minus 7x. 36 is equal to. Okay, but again, I need to set it equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 36, subtract 36. So therefore, I get 0 is equal to 4x squared minus 7x minus 36. Okay, is it equal to 0? Yes, so we've got that accomplished. Is it in descending order? Yes. Is there a greatest common factor? No, so I can go ahead and pod. So what makes 4x squared? Well, I'm going to start with 2x and 2x. How do I make a minus sign? That is a plus and a minus. How to make 36? 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, 6 and 6. Okay. With these two the same, I know it's not 6 and 6. So I'm going to go on to 4 and 9. My insides give me 8x. The outsides give me minus 18x. Sum those up, and that gives me negative 10, which is not negative 7. So let's try another combo. Well, those numbers are the same, so that will not work. So let's try 3 and 12. That's going to give me 6x. And that would give me negative 24x. And that gives me negative 18x. And because I have 2x and 2x, it's just going to get bigger. So that doesn't work. So let's try 2 and 18. That gives me 4x insides. The outsides give me minus 36. Sum those up. That gives me negative 32, which is not negative 7. So let's try that again. We'll do 1 and 36. So that gives me 2x and negative 72x. That gives me negative 70, which is not negative 7. So I've tried all these combinations of 2x. Okay, so it's not 2x. So I'm going to have to go to 1 and 4x. So I'm going to do 1 and 4x. Now I'm going to try the 6 and 6. That gives me 24x minus 6x gives me negative 18x, which doesn't work. So let's try 4 and 9. Oops. So here I go, 4 and 9. That gives me 16x. And outsides give me minus 9x. Sum that up, and that gives me 7x. Thank goodness. I went through a lot of combinations. Okay, my only problem is this needs to be negative. So all I need to do is make this the minus sign and this a plus sign. So that's minus 16 plus 9 equals negative 7. Okay, so 0 is equal to this. Now I can continue to finish my solving. Actually, I don't want to go too far away from that equation. So I'm going to have 1x minus 4 equals 0, plus 4 plus 4, so x equals 4. Or I have 4x plus 9 equals 0, minus 9, so 4x is equal to negative 9, divide by 4, so x equals negative 9/4. Okay, so let's go throw this in. So I can have this height equal to 4, so x can equal 4. And then if I throw this in, I would have 4 times 4, which is 16 minus 7, which equals 9. Okay, so I could have 4 and 9. The other option is I could have this answer. So I'm going to come and throw in negative 9/4 in. Throw in negative 9/4 into here. It comes out negative 9/4, which is not possible. Okay, so you can't have a negative distance. Remember that in our real world applications. But sometimes this might be a negative 9, so a negative and a negative makes it a positive. So once again, do not throw them out. We do trick you periodically. So don't just quit. So your answers would be 4 and 9 when they ask you these questions, not x equals 4. That's not what they're looking for. They're not looking for x. They're looking for the length, which is 9, and the height, which is 4. Make sure you put them in the appropriate box. Okay. Another problem you might get is that D, the equation D is equal to 1/2 n times n minus 3 gives the number of diagonals in a polygon with n sides. So use this equation to find the number of sides for a polygon who has 35 diagonals.